Hi, my name is Kiana Reynolds. I will be presenting to you a biopsychosocial review of obesity. Now let's talk about what is obesity. Obesity is defined as a condition of being overweight which presents a risk to health. It is one of the world's greatest health challenges of the 21st century. Obesity contributes to an increased risk for many chronic diseases such as stroke, cancer, diabetes, and more. Data shows that 35% of women and 33% of men in the United States are obese. Now that is almost half of women and men in the United States today. I believe that this is a high percentage. There are numerous methods to measure body fat, but body mass index is the typical method used today. This tool divides weight by height squared. So on this slide, you will find a picture of the body mass index for men and women. Obese is defined as at least 30 to 40 pounds overweight. The more overweight you are, the more an individual is at risk. So below, right here, you will find a website that helps you calculate your BMI. So if you click on the website, it will take you straight to with the BMI index calculation, and you can put in your pounds and how tall you are, and that will calculate, and you will then see if you are overweight or not. Now on to statistics. So in America, more than 1/3 of adults and 17% of youth are obese. Now that is something. 1 out of 3 Americans are obese. So that means 1 out of 3 Americans. So if you have 9 Americans, therefore that means at least 3 of the Americans are overweight. It is common that more girls are obese than boys, and that means because boys are more active than girls at a younger age. Obesity prevalence remains high today in the United States. Now let's look at obesity on the map. Here's a map that shows you the prevalence of obesity in the United States from 1991 through 2010. The CDC publishes a map every year of the prevalence of obesity in America. Back in 1991, most of the map were covered in light blue, which represents 10 to 14% of people in the United States were obese. In 1996, the map began to cover in the dark blue, showing an increase in obesity. Now look at the map in 2003. The population began to become 20 to 24% obese. So you started to see more of the yellow and orange color than of the blue color. In 2010, the map is covered in 3 different colors. Yellow represents 20 to 24%, orange represents 25 to 29%, and red represents greater than 30% of the entire state's population, which is obese. Now on to the biopsychosocial model. The biopsychosocial cycle model is a great way to describe the cause and consequences of obesity. There are 3 factors that make up the biopsychosocial model. The factors include biological, psychological, and social. Here you will see contributing factors of obesity. Each of these factors gives under at least one factor if the biopsychosocial model. So let's say, for example, education. We will most likely put education up under the social factor of the biopsychosocial model. We will put depression up under the psychological biopsychosocial model. Now off to the biological factors. The biological factors include hereditary factors. The genetic contribution of body weight is between 50 to 70%. Research states that body weight of adopted children is positively associated with weights of biological parents. Gender is another factor that affects obesity. Women tend to carry more fat than men. On the other hand, men carry more fat around their stomach area. Age is also a known factor for obesity. The more an individual ages, the more difficult it is to support your body. So I will give you an example of that. So last week I was speaking with my fiance about how our body has changed in the last 4 years. Now that we are older and busier, it becomes harder to take care of our body like we did 4 years ago. So let's take a look at this picture. This is a two-way relationship between food intake, mood, and obesity. So this picture shows how all of these are linked together. The central biological factor will send signals to the brain which causes an individual to have a particular mood, such as lonely or sad or maybe even depressed. When they become sad, lonely, or depressed, they are prone to eating plenty of food, such as junk food, fast food. They're prone to eating at fast food restaurants, and they are less likely to eat healthier foods. And this can lead to obesity. The same goes for peripheral biological factors. So the peripheral biological factors will start there, then it will go towards the central biological factors, and then it will go into the brain, and then the brain will send signals to the mood, which gives you the depressed, lonely, and sad mood. And then that's when individuals will start eating more, and the more that they eat, then the more that they're gaining weight. Alright, so now let's move on to the psychosocial factor. Psychosocial factors associated with obesity in ethnic groups are binge eating, low income, and the culture one is born in. Overeating may be a symptom of depression, frustration, and loneliness. This may appear in childhood and adulthood. Individuals living in poverty, which is majority of women, tend to have an increase in eating unhealthy food. So this means that unhealthy food is cheaper and it is way more affordable. Alright, psychological factors. So there are psychological factors, which is depression. Individuals tend to feel isolated, stressed, and binge eating. So each individual responds differently while being depressed or stressed. When they have become depressed, individuals lose motivation and begin to eat more than usual. Stress affects eating, which means one's self-control is removed regarding how much they should eat. For example, when college students are studying for their finals, they tend to become more stressed, and which causes them to eat more junk food, like I stated earlier, eat more fast food, and less likely to eat unhealthy food. Also, individuals may feel isolated if they are obese. They feel like they do not belong when surrounded by groups of people. They are more quiet and tend to be more by themselves. As stated earlier, Binge eating is a result of depression, stress, or even feeling sad. Now on to social factors. So what are social factors that cause obesity? We have the lack of education, particular cultural beliefs, and socioeconomic status. Research states that individuals with lower income or education are more likely to be obese. Children of parents with less than 12 years of education had an obesity rate 3 times than those whose parents have a college degree, higher than children living in families above the poverty level. Culture plays a big role in how individuals see themselves positively. For example, African Americans individuals define obesity in positive terms, relating it to attractiveness, body image, strength or goodness, self-esteem, and social acceptability. They didn't review obesity as a cause of concern when it comes to their health. Here's a picture of an example of a social factor. This particular social factor pertains to food. In 2012, more money was spent on fast food advertisement rather than on fruits and vegetable advertisement. The more advertising there is, the more business it will get. Now let's talk about the effects. Obesity may cause a number of health issues such as diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, strokes, and certain forms of cancers, and many, many more. Being overweight or obese can increase the chances of having type 2 diabetes. In this disease, the body makes enough insulin, but the cells have become resistant to the insulin. Obesity is also a cause of hypertension and cardiovascular disease, which is caused by other factors associated with obesity. Strokes are caused due to the reduced blood flow to the heart. Blood clots begin to form in narrow arteries and cause strokes to happen. Sleep apnea, on the other hand, is caused due to the excess weight on the body, which causes soft tissue to block the airway. Obesity may even have some emotional effects in individuals. The emotional effects include low self-esteem, poor body image, and with children, an increased risk of being teased or bullied. So here are some treatments of obesity. Treatments of obesity depends on the severity and cause of the condition. Possible treatments include healthy lifestyle changes, medicine, surgery, or a weight loss treatment program. Some of these treatments can be effective individually or with other treatments. Now let's start with living a healthy lifestyle. This includes exercising on a daily basis, getting the adequate amount of sleep, or eating healthier. Making a lifelong healthy lifestyle changes can help an individual change their energy balance to help them maintain a healthy weight. Medicine is a good treatment to consider. Medicine will decrease an individual's appetite and their intestines from absorbing fat from foods in their diet. These medicines also have side effects such as depression, anxiety, and more. Another option for obesity treatment is having surgery. If individuals are experiencing obesity-related complications, they can be eligible for the following surgeries as gastric bypass surgery, gastrotomy, and gastric banding. These surgeries decrease the amount of food someone eats. Doctors will choose the appropriate surgery for each individual. The last treatment is the weight loss program. Doctors will refer individuals to a weight loss treatment program. Individuals will have a trained healthcare professional to customize a weight loss plan for them. This plan will help individuals to stay on a strict diet, plan physical activity goals, and plan behavior strategies. This will help individuals maintain a healthy lifestyle. Now, this concludes my presentation, and I hope you have learned a lot about the biopsychosocial factors of obesity. Thank you.